All right, what's happening, fam? L.A.R movement still moving. Book entitled "Lessons from a Non-Custodial Father." Amazon Kindle Create Space. Um, how black politicians failed us. Well, in a sense, it's mentorship. I was inspired because I saw something. Manosphere was popping. Had to say that. Um, if you notice, politics is not what it used to be. You can get a lot done over the internet. You can go door to door, but since a lot of what goes on is public information, you don't see too many black politicians. I'm not talking about the president right now. I'm talking about like um, the congressional black caucus down to your city council and maybe in the school board. You don't see these people going into these political buildings and finding out what's going on for their constituents and bringing it back to the community. You don't see people doing like Facebook lives or YouTube videos or or Snapchats or tweets of the daily going ons in the political realm. You don't see the filtering down of you know the way that government contracts are working and which direction they're going and which ones are coming up the pike for quote unquote businessmen and women in the community. Politicians that come to your church and say amen. Politicians that come to your neighborhood and juju on that beat for you. And I gave my vote, but when it comes down to informing uh, black constituents of the policies, that's a problem. Can't do that for some odd reason. There's certain meetings that they're gonna have behind closed doors that you won't be privy to, and that's completely understandable. But we shouldn't have black politicians and constantly be blindsided. They closing the school? Yeah, well, somebody that knew that they was planning to close the school for a long time. So when they were knocking on your door and kissing babies, they could have told you that. You know, they they're not fixing the streets in your neighborhood, but they fixing the streets 5 miles over in the other neighborhood. Where your tax dollars going? Nobody's giving you a daily process of which direction your tax dollars are going in. You know, so it's it's bullshit, really, because you never see black politicians tell black people anything. It's just coming to the church, no interaction. They could do a hangout, Snapchat, live, whatever, but it doesn't happen. You know, they could tweet something, doesn't happen. But come time for the election, they're back at your door knocking, but they're not telling you anything. And then we gotta, stop. We gotta. To me, it's a solution. I'm giving some solutions because if we want the politics in our communities to get better, just on a local level, we have to be more interactive because we don't necessarily have to run to the media when you got the media on your phone. When you don't have to necessarily be connected house to house when you can connect phone to phone, computer to computer. You know, one little live stream could get out everywhere. And I say that because they're the politicians in general lack of transparency is part of the problem. I mean, everybody needs to chase you down. Why? I mean, you can't give a daily briefing, and that's all I'm talking about right now is a daily briefing. Like, um, the rec center They're gonna get new floors next month. The school, this is the last year they're gonna have this edition books. You know, they're gonna add some more computers using the taxpayer money to keep the school up to date. You know, there is no mentorship with letting, and we can also blame people our parents' age, aunts and uncles, grandparents' age, because not saying that they are so interactive because they're not, but at the same time, they're the teachers of the apathy because people are not necessarily politically inclined or lean in that direction because they're so accustomed to nothing happening. So this is my way of saying this is why they failed us because that's why we march so much. And to get out of marching, we have to be more interactive. If we're more interactive, it's no, we can coordinate not just the march, but what we do after the march. You know, that's just my thoughts. Peace.